Just talking. It was so amazing during the commercial break. A lot of you got up and started mingling and talking to each other because you hadn't seen each other in a while.
Weird.
Well, not you. You were a little standoffish, but for the most part. But the most part, you were mingling and talking, and then we started chatting, and I was saying, wait a minute, didn't the show just stop like 2 years ago? You said it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
That blows my mind that it's been that soon.
Wow. Scares me.
Yeah.
Is it really?
It's frightening. Yeah, we're all rocking to the grave.
You guys,
all right.
I'm still showing up for work. Conan, I still show up for work all the time. I don't know. You're there.
Show up for work, too.
He shows up.
So there's two of you with a good work ethic that really care.
Yeah.
Keep showing up.
All you gotta do, is fly to Albuquerque, and they'll put you on.
Possible. So I killed one of them.
Okay, you just brought up deaths. RJ, there were 270 deaths on the show. 270 deaths on the show. You had an idea for another that you pitched and it didn't go. Is that right?
I kind of pitched. They were talking about killing someone. I said, well, Junior would be a good one to kill.
What?
And,
you said kill Junior?
I mean, yeah, it's like, there's a game about that, right?
Who would kill Junior?
Oh, I was hoping someone good. Someone had to be good. Well, the cousins, Louis and Danny Moncada. I was assuming, because I read it, and I was like, oh, my part, I don't have a lot in any of this script, in all of the season. I'm like, oh, man. I'm losing lines, and then these guys show up, and I'm like, wait, I'm next.
Yeah. you thought you were a goner.
No one was safe on this show, so.
Okay, this brings a good question, because Vince, did you ever even think about getting rid of RJ's character? Did you ever think about it?
I did, actually.
You did?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Well, I know it. And by the way.
And who was gonna kill him?
You know, that part we hadn't figured out, but, and by the way, you realize, once you get killed, you don't get paid anymore, right? So I didn't know you were hoping for that.
7-year contract.
Yeah.
But I was
the Giancarlo.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Early on, I pitched to my writers. I had this idea where Walter Jr., there's this horrible, he gets killed by this nasty guy that Walt is somehow in business with. And I had this whole thing, it would take too long to even pitch it here, and all my writers looked at me like I had completely lost my mind. It was the most horrible person I ever lived.
No, people would have, I don't think people would have accepted
Walt
Jr.
You're right.
being murdered.
The old saying, enough people tell you you're drunk, you need to sit down. My writers essentially told me I was drunk.
Yeah.
And,
well, you've clearly been drinking now, yeah. It's, Anna, let's talk about your audition. Your audition for the show was quite, I think bizarre is the right word.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about that?
Well, I guess so.
Okay.
It was very interesting. I had about 15 minutes to rehearse with Brian and Vince, and before the test, and we were doing the scenes chosen for me. One of them was the
How can you say this?
hand pleasuring.
Hand pleasuring scene.
The scene of.
You mean like a massage?
A massage. It was
I like how you just shouted out hand job. Like, why are people? You're like, hand job, what's the problem?
I know.
He's a kid.
He's a kid.
Yeah.
Got no values.
Yeah, it was just a gentle massage. And so we rehearsed, and I said I don't want to, I thought it would be goofy to do an air mime of a massage.
To create the virtual space of that action.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we sat down and figured out a little...
I told her, if you're really courageous, you should just go for it.
He said, if you really want this part, then...
Hang on.
Sorry. Very bad.
Me too.
No, me too. That's totally
Me too times up.
He actually said,
You can't just yell "Me Too" times up to end any question. Me too times up. Me too times up.
he said, don't touch me, actually, don't touch me. But we put 2 chairs together, and there was a little, you know, arm on the chair that I massaged.
Yes. So you did that, and that was, you thought the correct, yeah.
I thought that was the correct thing, and it worked out, and it was a laugh fest, and so my audition was sort of like a comedy audition, and then who knew that it would not, there wasn't necessarily a laugh riot going on.
Now, this is interesting because you brought up the idea that it was a comedy audition. Betsy, you were under the impression when you auditioned for the show that it was an all-out comedy,
Oh,
right?
I thought it was funny, 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 funny. I mean, I didn't think it was like half-hour laugh track, but I thought this was just a very dark cable comedy, which I said for a while, and then I think maybe it was finally season 3 I caught on. And I said to Vince, I said, no, it's just a very, 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 very dark comedy. And then it just, the lights went out, it was dark. Dark.
Because there's lung cancer in the opening episode, you know?
Yeah.
That wasn't a clue at all?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know? Funny shows out of worse things, right?
Sure, yeah, sure. All right.
Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah.
Kids, look it up on YouTube. They don't understand. Giancarlo is such an amazing performance.
Oh, thank you.
Such an incredible performance. Really spectacular. The few actors can be so unnerving just staring at someone. You're doing it now to me.
Are you okay?
Not okay. I'm not okay.
Can I refresh the water for you?
You're such a powerful commitment to your character. Is it true that you actually rattled, you tried to get to Brian in scenes where you two were facing off? You tried to get to him as an actor and try and rattle him. Is that true?
Well, I think it is true, yes. I love working with Brian, and Brian always gives you all of his attention. So I thought I would be able to give him
what?
all of mine. Yes, you know, there were certain moments, especially in an episode 401, Box Cutter, where, you know, there are no words whatsoever being said.
Yes.
And I come in and do my action, and I have to glance over at both Brian and Aaron, and I circled Aaron at one point, and he kind of flinched, and I realized, oh, wow, he may be a little bit afraid of me.
Yeah.
In character.
In character.
In
He's
character.
a little afraid of you, and that's a power that you have. Another secret power you have, you're a terrific singer. You yourself are a very good singer. Did you ever think of incorporating that into your character, Gus?
Well, I did think to pitch to Vince, Gus's last moment would be very, very different. He would actually get up and he would say, I love life, I want to live, I love life.
Yes! You idiot!
Rewrite.
Wow. I figured that might keep my paycheck.
Yes! Oh, the show that could have been.
But I bet it would have sounded different with half your face missing. Without a doubt. Yeah.
Bob, you know, it's interesting. The idea of your character, Saul, getting a spin-off series was suggested on your first day of shooting. Is that right?
As I recall it, the scene with Brian in the lawyer's office, where Saul's introducing himself, somebody shouted out behind the camera, can I get a job on the sequel?
Yeah.
And everyone laughed at the notion. And
Right.
so I don't know if that started things, but Vince very quickly started talking about there's more to the character maybe than we're seeing in this show.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
This has been an amazing transformation for you because for years, iconic comedy performer and working, you know, solely in the sketch world. Now you're getting nominated every year. You know,
Conan, actually, it's interesting. A long time ago, when I was starting out, I was part of I did some acting. I was part of a duo, an acting duo.
an acting duo.
Well, yeah, it hasn't caught on. It's an acting team.
An acting
and
team.
it's two people, and one provides the facial expressions.
Yes.
And the other
Okay, now I know what we're
supplements
doing.
with
All right.
audio sound. I actually have a headshot from my team.
This is from quite a long time
when I was
ago.
starting
I believe.
out.
Yeah, there we go.
There's me. And
That is.
it's.
That was one of the dumbest things. We came on, we performed that at the Victory Gardens Theater in Chicago in 1988, and we would go on stage together as thespians that so specialized that I would do all the physical, facial stuff, and you would make noises. It was the dumbest, well, it couldn't. It was so dumb, but it cracked us up. And you would get underneath me with a microphone, and I would just make stupid cartoony faces, and you were like, It was so dumb, but it was really fun to do.
It was a hot ticket. It was a hot ticket. We kept our clothes on,
Yeah,
and it worked. It was fun to do.
sadly, you kept your clothes on.
Yeah.
I have to ask one last question, Vince. So many people describe it as if not the perfect show, the near perfect show. Any regrets? Is there anything that you do differently if you go back in time and do anything differently on the show?
Honestly, there is, and it has to do with this gentleman right here.
Yeah.
Show him your teeth. Isn't that the prettiest set of choppers you've ever seen?
Yeah.
And this guy, you got your ass kicked so much.
Yeah.
Like every 3 times an episode for 62 episodes. Plus you're smoking a lot of meth. That's bad.
And he's a meth addict.
Yeah.
Can't you go back digitally, and I would pay for it, and screw up his teeth in every episode? I think don't you want to see that? I will make sure that you look like shit in every episode. I'll do that for you. And for the show.
Spend the money.
I got it.
Okay.
This is a real honor. Thank you very much for having all of you here. And it's lovely to see the power of this show endure. It's been 5 years, and it's as popular as ever. Congratulations to all of you. Thanks for being here. Better Call Saul returns for its new season Monday, August 6th. Guys, great to break the bell. Be right back. Stick around.
You're watching Conan, live from Comic-Con on TBS. Brought to you by Snickers. Snickers satisfies.